Alright, we're back in the underground garage. This is the latest project. This is my truck. It's just a 95 Chevy half-ton truck. I had some problems. We were all rusted out back here. Really common on these trucks for these in the back of the cab to rust out. I went ahead and fixed that stuff already, but I'm going to paint the truck. We're going to do a complete color swap on it. Do some other little custom touches here and there. So I'm going to try to catalog all that stuff for the videos, and we'll go from there. The first step on something like this, once you've actually mentally committed to painting it, is just to blow it apart. Everything that can be taken off of it, go ahead and take it off. All this trim, these lights, the grill, take these mirrors off, this kind of trim, all that stuff, that'll all come off the truck. So that's the first thing we're going to do, and I'll just try to keep you guys, we'll try to go along together as we do this one. All right, here we are. It's basically torn apart. We've got the bumpers off of it, the mirrors, all the trim is all taken off. I like to pull this kind of stuff off. There's a piece of trim that runs here along the bottom of the window. Get that out of the way. Just makes for a cleaner job when you paint everything. Here we took the mirrors off. We had to take the inner door panels apart to get these handles out here. So that's what this kind of mess is here. To make the windows work, I've just got the window switch plugged in. It's just laying up right there. That's what's going on there. We've got the bed's getting ready to come off of it. If you're going to do a color change on a pickup, one of the things I'd really like to do is to pull the bed off so you can get this area here, the back of the cab and the back of the bed painted the right color. So all the bolts and everything are out of the bed. It's if you watch, pick it up there, it's ready to come off. So we took the tailgate off. I'm going to take this outside and wash it all out, get it all cleaned up, get it ready for paint. Alright everybody, you guys can see we've got the bed off of the truck now. I'm going to paint the truck in two pieces. I'm going to do the bed first and then the cab and everything else second. It's easier to maintain the area and just keep a cleaner environment, and it's a lot less to have to control. If I can just control the environment around the bed, that's a smaller spray that's easier to deal with than trying to do the entire truck. So that's part of the reason I'm doing it. And like I said in the other video, I want to get to the front of the bed and the back of the truck and all that. I got the tailgate off over here, gonna do that as well. There was at some point in this truck's life, this is the front of the bed where it would meet the cab, something in the bed slid forward and hit the front of the bed and pushed it up into the cab. So if you sight down this right here, you can see that it bends out like that. So I'm just kind of going to do a small pull on it, straighten it out as best I can. It's a work truck. It doesn't need to be perfect, but we do want to get it, as nice as reasonable. So all I did, I just took my come along. There was an existing hole in the bed right here. I've just got the nose of the come along in there, and I'm just wrapped around under the bottom side of the bed up there. So not much to that one. Put a little pull on it. There's the bed, the sides of the bed are scratched up, but there's very little body work that needs to be done. It's actually very straight. I was pretty surprised. This side was also in really good shape. I don't know how well it'll show up on the camera, but there's a ding. There's a dent right here, right where my hand is right there, and then there's another one in the back. Just right here. I don't know how well they'll show up, but so I'm going to take care of those two dents. I'll walk you guys through just the body filler process on those once I get this pull done. Alright, I've just put some tension on the come along here. You can see it's not real tight, but it was enough to straighten that out. And so if you look at it now, it is basically perfectly straight. There's a little bit of deflection at the other end, but that's acceptable for what we're trying to do here. I expect this to spring back some when I take the tension off, so I'm probably going to go 2 more clicks on the come along and then release it, and we'll see what it looks like then. And then I went 2 more clicks on the come along, and that's just based on experience. I can kind of feel the metal and how it's going to spring back, and that was enough. I bent it enough this way to where when it sprang back, it's almost perfect. There's an ever so slight right in the middle, but
but this truck's getting a plastic drop-in bed liner that covers all that stuff up. It just kind of needed to be straight enough for the bed liner. So that's more than adequate for what we're doing. So if you do have this kind of damage on your bed, it's pretty easy to fix. Like I said, I just used to come along and was able to pull it that way, get everything kind of straightened out. So we'll go ahead and move on to the body filler work on the other side. All right, here's one of our dents right here. All I did, I took some 36 grit sandpaper on the DA and just buzzed down the dent. I like to go to metal if possible. Sometimes it's not practical. Some guys say it takes too long. With 36 grit on the DA, it doesn't take very long to get to the metal at all. I'm going to prep that for the Bondo now. To do that, I use rubbing alcohol. There's a little video on why I use rubbing alcohol instead of prep solvent. There's also in the shop tip videos, there's a video on how to mix Bondo. So I'm going to skip past mixing the Bondo in this one. If you guys want to see that, check it out. Alright, I had a little camera trouble on this side, so I didn't get to leave the camera run when I put the filler on this side. But I've got a couple of dents here on the bed rail. On this side there was one right there, and then there's a couple on the other side. I got one right there and a couple more back there. So I'm going to try it again, try to let the camera run as I do this one. Just firm pressure when you're putting your filler down. You want to make sure it squeezes down into all your sanding scratches and all the little imperfections. It's actually what's going to hold it to your project and give you good adhesion, or all those little scratches. So you want to make sure you get it down in there. I think most of us in the beginning are really prone to over Bondo. I know I did, and most of the guys in the industry that I've talked to, they did. All that does just makes more work for you. It's more sanding, more time, just more work. So it depending on the situation, sometimes it's easier to go ahead and just over Bondo and then come back and grind all the extra Bondo off, sand all that stuff off. Most of the time though, I found it's easier, even with the 30-minute dry time on the Bondo, to go ahead and do a lighter Bondo session, come back and have to come back and do the Bondo again, than it is to over Bondo and try to just. Some of the Bondo, depending on the brand, is really hard. It's really difficult to sand, so it's very time consuming. So. One thing I do with the Bondo when I'm done, if I have any left over, I spread it out on the board like that, and that will dry, and then it's a nice hard smooth surface for the next time, so that'll be reusable.